Hello and welcome to our third episode of the Gucci Hobo Challenge update series. As you can see, we reached Act 3 and we are currently farming the city of Zion. You probably noticed that there's some weird things, or maybe even less things, on my skill bar. We will come to that in a second while we farm up a little bit here in City of Zion. And just so you guys know, we found our third unique, and we'll come to that in a sec. Please don't die, thank you. It's probably not too hard to tell that it becomes more and more difficult to not die. It's like in the nature of this challenge, we only can equip uniques and we only have 2 or maybe 3 of them now. We are currently running Wanderlust. We free-linked it the day before on stream with Firestorm, Faster Casting and Elemental Focus. And we are running our Silver Branch with Siege Ballista. Might be wondering about that, and Herald of Ash. The link in here will be Culling Strike, so we can cull things. We are currently level 26, and that's our current passive tree. We will get Agility as our next passive skill point, so we can run Culling Strike. Now let's come to some other things I prepared for you guys. Let's jump to this Google Docs I prepared. Up here you have some links about this challenge. Here are our basic rules. As you guys might remember, this is solo self-found uniques only. Flasks don't have to be unique. Onigarashi and Tabula Rasa are not allowed. Divination cards are allowed though. We'll come to that in a second. We are currently at 5 deaths and we played timed, not /played time. That's wrong. We'll update this before the video goes live. Please check that. And these are our uniques we found. That's Wanderlust, Silver Branch and the Platform. Let's jump back into the game for a second. Let's look at Platform. We dropped it in a delve. We're able to run level 15 to 20 delves, and we will keep doing that. So here you have the Platform. It's a melee weapon, so we can't make much use of it. We played around with Spectral Throw because that was the only even remotely melee skill I had. It's not even melee, but who cares? And we did it with Summon Holy Relics and Herald of Purity. It wasn't too bad, but wasn't that satisfied, so we went ahead and free-linked our Wanderlust and free-linked our Silver Branch, and that's what we are up to. So let's jump back into the Google Docs. Down here we have our long-term goal, but let's look at the divination cards before. I prepared a little list with divination cards we want to farm or we could farm. Let's start with the less exciting ones. Hubris. Yeah, it's a unique ring. I don't know if it's worth it. We could go for it, but I really don't want to. A big thing in Act 3 will be Light and Truth. It's the Upper Scepter of God, Act 3, and it drops a unique Crystal Scepter. And we will do it, for sure, for Nyctar's Lantern. To be honest, I have never seen Light and Truth dropped for me, so we'll see how that turns out. Next up is Mids. In the Ascent level 4, it will drop or will give us unique gloves. I'm not sure about this one. Depending if we find any class we are satisfied with, we might skip this one, but let's see. Next up is the Beast. It drops in the belly of the Beast and it gives us the belly of the Beast. And we will farm that for sure, because that will be our endgame chest. Then we have the Deceiver. in Grand Arena Act 4. It will drop us a corrupted Belt of the Deceiver, and we will do it most likely depending again on the build we dropped before. Then we have the Eye of the Dragon. It drops in the Boiling Lake. It gives us a unique jewel, and we may be going for that because we can get some unique jewels that might help us. But we will see when we come to that. Then we have the Incantation, Resin Forest Act 6, Whispering Eyes. As you can see, yes, we will farm that for sure, because that will be part of our endgame build. We are doing a Whispering Eyes build. So you're thinking, how do we do that? Let's skip this one and go straight to the Polymath. It can drop in the Reliquary Act 5 or Reliquary Act 10. It will give us Astra Mantis. That's a unique amulet that gives us a lot of intelligence, or all stats basically, which is pretty good for Whispering Eyes. And remember, what's really good for this challenge, we don't have to link Whispering Eyes. We only have to get it to 6 sockets. And another thing is, we will get Le Hoop of All via the One with All in Tidal Island Act 6. I went even further and prepared a path of building. You will find the paste bin in the description below, as well as the link to the Google Docs, which also contains the paste bin. And let's look at our passive tree at the moment. I have never done a build myself before, so be aware of that. I'm happy for your input. What I was doing is getting life, some elemental damage, more life, go for the big intelligence nodes here and down here. I think we should pick up acrobatics, because that will be our main source of defenses later on. And everything else is just traveling nodes, some jewel sockets here and there, and maybe up here, down here. And the rest is basically life and intelligence where we can get it. So yeah, here you have our skills. We will do Firestorm, probably with Hypothermia, Cold Pen, Spell Echo, Faster Casting, Restoration and Life Leech. Then we have our no, not Flame Totem. Flame Dash with Faster Casting, Arcane Surge and Fortify, and then cast when damage taken setup. That might be the hardest thing to get. So for items, we are going with the Whispering Eyes, which we can farm. Gold Rim is kind of debatable. If we find it, it will be awesome because of the other resistances. Otherwise, we will go with any other helmet. Then we have Belly of the Beast, which we can farm. I went with Winds of Change because it will give us the red sockets for our cast when damage taken setup. Then we have our Wanderlust. Haven't decided on any other shoes now. It will be dependent on what we drop actually, as everything. Then we have Astra Mantis, which we can farm. We have 2 Le Hoop of Alls, which give us elemental resistances and some all attributes and increased damage, which will be pretty nice. Then we have our Belt of the Deceiver, which we may get. Gives us life resists. Fist damage we don't care about. And then we have Survival Instincts, which we already have, so that's kind of our 4th unique, but that's not. Let's just not pretend it's a unique. And as you can see, with all these items, we're probably able to cap out our elemental resistances, which is pretty nice. I'm glad about that, and with some levels we might be able to reach a decent life pool. But as you guys know, it's all up to luck basically, and a lot of farming. As you can see, we want to farm Nyx's Lantern to have a stepping stone into Act 7 or 8, I don't know yet. Then we have the Beast we have to farm. We have the Whispering Ice. I think that's probably the easiest of the 4th. We have the Hoop of All, which will be our the one with all, which give us the Hoop of All. I don't know what drop rate of this thing is. We will figure it out later. And we have the Polymath, which is probably really rare in the Reliquary Act 5. We might want to farm it in Act 10. So we have a lot of things to do, as you can see. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out the description. It will contain the Pastebin link. It will contain the link to the Google Docs you're seeing right now. And it contains a link to my stream. So make sure to click that, leave a follow, and you can see me farming all these things live. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you later.